enhanced sword around because I want to make it a superior sword soon. I just haven't done it yet. Yeah, feline crossbow and ursine crossbow are the only two crossbows I have so far. All right, good enough explanation, I believe. Let's play some Gwent.
Can we talk?
What about?
So, wanna play?
Of course.
Am I? Have you crying like a baby by the time I'm through with you?
It's your favorite part there, Trip Zero. The Gwent. When we get our decks, we're gonna have a good time, my friend. Good time. It's gonna be like you and I are the real life Lambert and Geralt. Alright, so I don't know how much Gwent you played, but I played a shit ton, dude. So I'll kind of try to explain this as I go along. So I got monsters. I'm loaded up on Nilfgaard, Northern Realms, and Scoia'tael. So my best is the monsters, and the monsters is the coolest because the monsters had, and this is the deck I'm rocking. So you don't want to clutter your deck too much. You absolutely do not want to have 4 decoy cards because you could load up a hand with 4 fucking decoys. You want to keep your amount of cards as close to 22. Sorry. Yeah, so it says at the top, total cards in deck, number of unit cards is how many you have in a hand, or no. 44 is the cards in deck. Number of unit cards is the amount of cards you have. Special cards is like these decoys and Commander's Horn, Scorch, and Biting Frost. I think it gets complicated. I think you want to keep the number of unit cards to like 22. You want to keep it as close to 22 as possible. For unit cards, I don't pay attention to total cards in deck, but keep your unit cards to 22 because that is the playable cards, which it should technically. I'm getting confused. I have 44, 36, 8 out of 10. The 36 is the number that needs to be around 22. That's all I gotta say. Now, why is mine at 36? Because I just said that it needs to be 22. Well, first off, it is around 36 because I have a bunch of special cards. So there's these symbols that show up on cards. For instance, this one right here has what looks like a bottle cap. That is a card that cannot be affected by anything. So that's a 15 card that cannot be affected by anything on the board. You can throw anything down and it's not affected. This is a card with a heart plus on it. When I drop that card and I have discard, I can pull out of my discard, pull one card out of discard and put it back wherever I want. Well, depending on its class, I can put it where, if it's a range card, I'll put it down in the range section. This one, pretty amazing. With this card, I can get rid of the highest level card in the front close combat section on their side. These cards, the ones with the little, it looks like 2 human heads. When you throw that card in, it pulls any card in the discard pile or the actual deck that it is united up with into the action and adds it on the board. Let's see what else we got here. This one adds a +1 to every card in the actual lineup. So there's some key cards in here, and as you can see, I've loaded this deck with as many of those ones that pull their friends in as I can, and I've earned these cards. I've played innkeepers, I've played leaders of various villages and towns and shit. Major characters in the story have given me these cards, so I've just earned them just by playing a shit ton of Gwent. Please respond if you're still here, because I don't know if you decide to get the fuck up and leave, because this is a complicated tutorial. But But yeah, I just piled in every possible card possible when when they're friends cards because they don't affect my overall total because they can still be pulled in. They don't affect my overall card limit, you know. So I'm gonna play with the monsters because my guess is that Lambert's gonna have a pretty fucking decent hand. So I'm gonna go with this. You also have a leader card. Now I've unlocked a few of the leaders for the monsters. I've unlocked this guy. Pick any weather card from your deck and play it instantly is like a hand job. I don't give a fuck about that card. Double the strength of all your close combat units unless a commander's horn is also present on that row. It's awesome. So the sword, the close combat, everyone can get doubled with this card. I think that might be the one that I've been going with. And then discard 2 cards now and draw 1 card of your choice from your deck. I don't know how that can benefit me because I find the key to winning Gwent is as many cards as possible. So discarding any cards is a shit. It's not going to help you. So I'm probably going to go with this leader, which is the one I was already rocking anyway. I'm going to hit start game and I'll explain as I go. Okay, so in the discard, the most important thing to realize is the levels of these little guys. I don't need two level guys. See these neckers here? They're friends. I don't need one. I don't need 2 of them. The other one's going to... When I drop this necker card in, he's going to pull his friend out of the deck. It's pretty fucking amazing. This guy, his friend is in the deck. He's going to pull his friend in. This guy, he's going to pull his friend in. This guy is going to pull this bitch in. I don't need her. So that's how I decide what card I need. So what does that give me? This guy's going to pull his friend in. This guy's going to pull his friend in. It's giving me like 4 times the amount of cards because all of these fucking people are going to pull their friends in. This is why the monster deck is the deck to build as you go along. Commander's Horn doubles whatever I put it on. So what you have is you have close combat, you have ranged, and you have siege. So these are siege. The monsters are not heavy on siege. There's some you know, golems and things like that are considered siege monsters. But so what I'm just gonna lay into him. I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna hit 6, drop it in, and he's gonna pull his friends in. Pull right from the fucking deck. Look what I just got. I ended up getting 18 points because I loaded up. But if you do it correctly, you do 1 of each level, which is essentially the class of the character, basically. Now I'm going to drop this guy in. He's going to pull his friends in. And look what I just did. I have 39 points. Now this might spook the fucking game into dropping out. Yeah, the game's going to drop out. I'm going to win this round. Let's see what happens if I pass. They might come back and beat me as well. I'm taking a risk. It's okay to take a loss. I'm going to take a hit. Nah, they just gave up because I just fucking kicked their ass. And I hardly used any cards from the actual hand. Did you notice that? I pulled it all from that extra deck. Now, usually, and the cool thing about the monsters is they also retain a card. So now I'm going to drop fear into their hearts by dropping fog for their ranged. Now, they're Scoia'tael. So Scoia'tael's reference and having weight is ranged. They do have a lot of close combat, but mostly they're ranged. So throwing down my fog on the fog is always on ranged. By throwing that down, I just fucked them. I just totally fucked them. All right, now so for this might be a round where I take a hit because I'm counting my cards and their cards. So if you look to the left, you see yellow above the name Geralt. It's the card number. I have 7. They have 7. My 7's more powerful though. My 7's more like 10, maybe 11, because like these little guys here. I'm gonna throw the little guys down and see what happens. Okay, cool. Now, the thing about Scoia'tael also has optional cards. So Scoia'tael can drop their range instead into close combat. So because I dropped the fog down, the Scoia'tael are dropping all of their cards. Lambert is dropping all of his cards in the close combat, even though he has the option to maybe put it in range. But that makes sense because it'll keep his points the highest possible. But I'm gonna fuck them. I'm gonna fuck them real good. No, I don't want to use that. I am going to drop this guy. Watch the shit I do now. It's gonna be amazing. He pulls his friend in. And I'm gonna use my leader card. Watch this shit. No, he just dropped a pretty powerful card. Watch. Drop my leader card. Doubles fucking everything, baby. Now he fucked me. Now I'm fucked. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so he threw down Biting Frost that fucks all of my cards into powerless nothing. So at this point, what I'm going to do is... I'm going to take a powder. I'm going to lose on this one. Because I can. Now notice I'm up a card. On the left, I have 5, and the opponent has 4. So they're at a serious disadvantage coming into the last round of the game. Triss Merigold. Little hot bitch dropping on the field, is she? But I got a friend who's got a friend, and he's going to bring his friend from the discard pile. It doesn't even come from the discard pile. It comes from the full deck, which is even cooler. This might be a little bit difficult. Let's see what happens here. Always pay attention to the smaller numbers on the left side for each of the close combat range, because that's how you can know. It's an easier way to view, like, so I'm counting 15 on close combat right now, which is pretty cool. They passed. I fucking won. I totally fucking won. I don't know what card he's going to give me when we win, but he gives a card. He gives one card when we win, and we're definitely going to fucking win. And I just like to rub that shit in. There's actually a Xbox achievement for winning with 187 points. I've never gotten close to 187 points. I don't even fucking know how you do that. Let's see. We just beat him, so he's going to give me a card.
Oh, can't believe I got to give up my unique card. Better your hands than someone else's, I guess.
Let's see what I get. Who do I get? Sexy ass Triss Merigold, baby. Yeah. I got the Triss Merigold, baby. That's cool. Now, what's really cool about that, I come in here and manage my Gwent deck. The Triss card may be a universal card, which is fucking cool. So watch. When I jump to from monsters to Nilfgaard, yep. Triss is universal. She's really powerful. I can use her with any of my decks. So now, so obviously I add Triss in. I'm going to add her into the deck, but I'm going to remove a close combat card that's not necessary to the action, because I'm trying to maximize the amount of numbers. You don't just pile in as many cards because you load up a limited hand. So if you keep piling cards into what you take into battle with you, that's why I think it's unit cards. Unit is what you take into battle, and then total cards is what you have for the monsters. And the only time you can pile in the unit cards, the minimum number is 22, and the more unit cards you pile on, the more you're gonna get this wider amount of cards that you're gonna pull from, and what's gonna happen is you're gonna get a lot of clutter in there. If you dump in all the 1s and the 2s, look over here at my monster side. I've gotten rid of 5s, dude. There's no 5s in my deck. There's no 2s. There's no 4s. Unless they have a special power, they're fucked. They're just out. They're not going into battle. No 5s, no. And now that's a 7. So that 7 automatically replaces not one of these guys, not one of these fucks here. That 7 is going to replace one of the 6s. And then that gives me an upper hand. So I got to decide. Oh, no, there's a 5 in there. I'm getting rid of that motherfucker. Goodbye, baby. You're out. So he's gone. So now I'm never going to pull that 5. I'm never going to have be in the battle and have that 5. Instead, more likely that 7's going to drop. Triss is going to drop for me. And I want to do that with every deck. You'll notice here, I only have 26 unit cards. I'm trying to keep it as close to the minimum number. And there's a reason why with Nilfgaard I added extra in, and it has to do with this guy. This guy can pull his friend in from the main deck. He doesn't have to be a unit card. He can be in the fucking total card deck, and he'll pull his friend in. So I can have him. The other thing you pile on, just by virtue of them being a different card, is this really unique card that's unique, I think, only to Nilfgaard and the Northern Empire. These are spies. Spies are one of the most powerful cards in the game. You put a spy down on the enemy side, you get 2 cards. You get 3 spies like I have for Nilfgaard. When I play with Nilfgaard, I pretty much win every time because I drop 3 spies in and get 6 total fucking cards off the top of the deck. So I'm dealing with a hot 16 card deck when the enemy is probably dealing with 8. When I play with Nilfgaard, because I drop my spies in, which is pretty cool. Nilfgaard has a lot of spies, so you're gonna have fun playing with Nilfgaard. Now Triss, she's gonna get dropped in, just like, but same rule applies. I come all the way to the top here. Fucking sucks that I gotta come all the way to the top. And I go to my close combat, and I come in here and I get rid of something, you know, like this 5 right here. I don't need Zoltan. So Triss now takes Zoltan's place. And now my close combat section just got even more powerful. And I keep my unit cards close to 22. As close as I possibly can. Same thing. I jump over to Northern Realm. There's Triss. She gets added in automatically because she's powerful. And then I come... It's mostly... So what else? Northern Realms. I'm going to get rid of... Zoltan's going out. I think Triss is pretty much replacing Zoltan across the board. But I want to do close combat. I don't want to get rid of... You want to have a diverse field. So you want to have some ranged. You want to have some siege. So my lowest possible card in here is Zoltan. Yeah, I'm getting rid of Zoltan again. And then Scoia'tael. Definitely add Triss into that. Now, Scoia'tael has some... I told you, they have interesting cards. They have cards that can switch. So I added as many of those into the deck because they can switch. I don't know if that's going to be a benefit or a hindrance, adding that many in. I just put them all in just to see how I could play with it. But Scoia'tael also has what the monsters have. They have the ability to pull in different classes that are not in the immediate unit deck. They're in the total cards deck, so you can pull them out. That's great. So who in here should I get rid of, or did I already get rid of somebody? No, I still have to get rid of somebody. Vizimir. Yeah, I'm getting rid of Vizimir. See, these guys, I put that 3 in, I get all 3 of those guys. So that's actually, this, I would count this as 1 card, and that card is a 9. Right? And this one, these 3 guys are a 15. That's 1 card, that's a 15. So you can't really count that as the amount of cards that it is, because it's not. It's 1 card. You pop that fucking thing in, and you get 15 points instantly. So that's definitely not something that you would... And now I got to Triss, so... The thing that sucks is I'm running out of people that I can play Gwent with and actually earn cards with, because I have so many fucking cards in the game now. I don't have them all, though. I definitely got all the main characters so far. I got, like, Geralt, I got Triss.